Despite action at the State House this year to change the rising cost of liquor liability insurance for bars and restaurants, local businesses are still shutting their doors, and they're again blaming the insurance setup. Our Mike White talked to a Columbia bar owner that is shutting down later this week and explains the issue.
Another day, another business that serves alcohol is closing in the Midlands due to a law that requires establishments carry $1 million in liquor liability insurance, rates that have become too high for small businesses like Dale's Beer Garden and Bottle Shop.
We aren't making huge profits, and so when that gets eaten into by these much higher rates, it's hard to justify, the amount of work we're putting into it. So.
Owner of Dale's, Chad Owens, says when the West Columbia location first opened in May 2023, they were already facing higher than normal liability rates. The bar found a third-party internet insurance company that provided liquor liability insurance. However, due to that company pulling out of the South Carolina market, Dale's is being dropped this Friday, ultimately leading the location to close due to the inability to cover the increasing rates.
We've reached out to different brokers in hopes that, potentially working the business a different way. We considered even rebranding from a beer garden, calling ourselves the Dale's Grill, and focusing more on the food truck and food aspect.
Holding out for as long as they could, but Owens says this past Sunday is when Dale's made the decision to close. Lawmakers have been looking to bring change, passing a law earlier this year to help bring relief to small businesses while ensuring accountability in alcohol service. State Representative Weston Newton tells WACH Fox News he's aware of the concerns about recent closures and how challenging rising costs have been for small business owners. Newton added this in a statement, quote, "However, it's important to note that many of the provisions of the new law do not take effect until January 1st, 2026. The reforms we passed addressed the largest drivers of these skyrocketing premiums, but we simply haven't yet had the opportunity to see the full impact of these reforms." Dale's is the third bar in the past few weeks in the Columbia area that has announced its closing.
We understand that we have some liability in protecting the public. When people come in here, we want to make sure they're safe and that they leave safe. So I'm not opposed to having some liability in that regard. I just think that they place too much liability on the bars.
Mike White reporting. And when it comes to the future of Dale's, Owen says the business would love to have a chance to open up again or the potential to try something else, but is looking to take action when there's more market stability.